Sir, we talked about these two aspects. One is the student perspective. We covered that in detail. We also covered the educational institution's perspective. There's a third party in all this, which are companies. Now, when students particularly want to, make some difference with companies, and so they have to pick up some skills or some projects in particular. My question is going to be aimed at projects that they want to pick up in the company. So do you have any words of wisdom for them on what is some topics that they should take that satisfies not only their own sort of passion, but also to do with companies? So you work with companies on a very regular basis. So what is it that they should focus on so that they are something that they really like working on, but also it is useful for the company? Or is there anything that they should focus on?
Yeah. So I have spoken about voice of process. I have also spoken about voice of customer. A third one which I would like to talk to you is about the voice of business. Now, when you talk about voice of business, there are several processes which actually run the business. So it's a superset of voice of processes, I would say. So these business also have a lot of data that gets generated in these processes. So when you have data that is there, the students are going to look at the business and say, hey, look, I'll be able to help you to bring in hidden insights from the data which is there, which can help you serve the customer in a better fashion. For sure, the companies will be interested in handling such projects and giving such projects to the students. Today, fortunately or unfortunately, we don't know, almost all corporates are in a rat race. The next quarter results, that's what everyone is bothered about. And there is hardly any time to think about something innovative, to think something different. It's not there in many large organizations. But if you take up startups, they always keep thinking, what next, how different should I do things? So when you look at an organization and say, I'll be able to give you some insights which you otherwise don't have, I'm sure the corporates will be interested in giving opportunities to such students to get some insights which can be useful for their business, and in turn can help them do the business better, which can help in ensuring the top line grows, the bottom line also grows. To identify such things, they need only problem solvers. So if you look at the general aspect of any organization, whom do they hire? They hire problem solvers. Are you able to solve some problems for me? Could be routine problems, which can be solved with the help of automation, but there should be a process owner. And there are other problems where you can't solve through robotics and machines. You need human intelligence for that even today. If you're a problem solver, for sure, if you're able to showcase that I can do that, business gives opportunities for it. Be it in the area of HR or marketing or finance or operations. Now, data science actually cuts across all of them. Let me give an example. Attrition is always a big problem. Today, it's a bigger problem. You've got great resignations, people leaving jobs, all this is happening today. What if I go to a company and say, I'll be able to pinpoint and tell you that this person is going to leave his or her job in 3 months from now. If I'm able to do this, the HR manager will jump at me and tell that, yeah, please tell me how. I'll say, I'll do that, provided you're able to help me with some specific sets of information. Okay, what is it? If you're able to give me the email repository of your employees, which is official email repository to which you have access to, because it's a company email, right? You're not going to access personal email. If I'm going to take this and if I'm going to analyze the data, in fact, this is one of the research papers that I have published. So taking the data, because when someone decides to leave a company, it's not an overnight decision. The decision is already there, it builds, and then over a period of 3-4 months, the person takes a call and then leaves. Knowingly or unknowingly, this decision which is running in his mind is exhibited in his email without his knowledge or her knowledge. So if I'm going to take the email repository and I'm going to do some sentiment analysis to see how is the sentiment of this individual, if I'm able to go and churn, I'll be able to go and find out if there are people who are going to leave this organization. Based on that, the HR manager can take proactive steps before the person decides and puts his or her paper and serves the notice period. So this was the research that I did. Now, for example, is in the area of HR. it worked very well. So I took the repository of SABM Pune email, after taking the privacy concerns, ran it. I could stop 2 people who were actually thinking of moving. So when I called and asked them, they told, how did you know that? I am just contemplating, Raman, I have not decided on it. I told, let us talk, see how we can go and, have a win-win that can happen. So this is, for example, how data science actually helps you in taking such decisions. So such decisions can be taken by having huge amount of data and churning the data for getting intelligence out of it, which can be applied in marketing, finance, operations, HR, or any functional area. So if you go to a business and say, I can do this for you, and if you're confident, and you know which is unconventional, then getting projects or even getting jobs is not a difficult thing. The thing is, if you are able to go and think on these lines and think differently, which can help solve problems for business, which can help solve, could be small or large, whatever it is, which can help them solve issues related to attrition or top line growth or whatever, that will be fabulous, right? So that's how I think students can approach. And data science and design thinking, of course, I consider design thinking as thinking from the customer's point of view. That's what is one single definition for me. And if you're able to think from the customer's point of view and do everything from the customer's point of view, for sure, the customer is happy. And for that, you have a lot of data which you can go and deep dive, get insights, and apply in decision making that can help the organization. Then for sure, jobs are available for them.
Wow, amazing, sir. So for me, the takeaway from all this is there are 3 voices that we have to keep listening to. The voice of process, the voice of customer, and finally add to that a dose of voice of business. For me, these 3 things are the takeaway from our session. This is an amazing interaction. I just want to close this interview with a small anecdote, if you will. Sir described about symbiosis entry processes, and they are very rigorous, meant to test you on every level, and it's very innovative also. I wish I were a candidate when I was a student. It's very challenging as well, and brings out the best in you. Okay, so no amount of preparation can actually be that. So from a panelist point of view, I'm a regular panelist in these candidature interviews as well as these activities that they have. We used to have pen and paper, and we were in the era of digitalization. So I thought, oh wow, we are in the area of digitalization. However, we are still in pen and paper. As if he had somehow listened to me, the next time we had it all online, all of it online. This is pre-pandemic. Also, we had it all online, and I thought he's testing it out on us. So here's where the design thinking is, right? So he knew this is the voice of the customer, and he came up with a prototype, tested it within the staff for many times, and then figured out what works and what doesn't, and slowly worked on the strength of the system, gave it a nice interface, and gave it to us. Yes, it was a new process, some of it we had to learn, but many of that mimicked what we actually did with pen and paper, including the signature. We had to type out our name instead of, when the candidate walks in, we get to know their details. There was a scanning procedure. All that was so seamlessly done. And I thought, oh, the job is done. But his job was not done. He asked us, how did you guys look at it? And we went about another process. Next year, it was even better. So many things had been straightened out, the process parameters, everything was so voice of process, voice of customer, voice of business. All of it made complete sense. I'm happy to have interacted with you so many years, sir, and wish you best. And thank you for sparing your valuable time.
Thank
sir.
you. It was a pleasure interacting. I'm sure I can't thank you enough for the sessions that you deliver on design thinking at SABM Pune, and students always like them with the kind of insights that you bring into the class, which is always a valuable. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.